G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Flashlight Crazy. Really exciting one today. Today I've got the Weltool T17 tactical flashlight up for review. Let's check it out. Alrighty, so let's just check what's in the box first. So let's just have a look at the box. Weltool T17, waterproof, durable, aluminium alloy, portable. It certainly is all those things. Okay, so first thing you will see is the Weltool T17 Ironclad Virtue Tactical Flashlight User Manual. And straight off the bat, I'm just going to show you the English side of the user manual. And I just want to point something out to you, which is, look, it is absolutely phenomenal to me. And that is that on high, you have 600 lumens, 14,356 candela, 239 meters, runtime with the provided 18650 of 3,800 milliamp hours, 3.6 volt. Runtime is 3 hours and 30 minutes. That is, to me, absolutely phenomenal. Then you've obviously got your 6 lumen output, which is a hidden low mode I'll show you. That's got a runtime of 75 hours and 10 minutes. So this also can run on two CR123As. The output, and actually the output will stay the same, it says, but the runtime will dramatically decrease. But you're still getting 2 hours on 600 lumens with two CR123As, and you're getting 54 hours with on 6 lumen low mode. Now, another thing that stands out to me that I just want to bring to your attention is this light is IP67 waterproof rated up to 5 meters. This light passed the 5 meter drop resistant test. So I don't want to harp on too much about the user manual, but you've got 3.5 hour runtime on 600 lumens. You've got a 5 meter drop test passed and a 5 meter water resistance rating. So let those specs speak for themselves. Now, you will also get a spare O-ring. You will get the pocket clip. Now, the pocket clip will be attached to the light when you get the light, but I have taken it off to attach a Theorem switchback. And I like lights like this to have a Theorem switchback or a Theorem deep carry pocket clip. This fits both of them, but I just wanted to do the review with the Theorem switchback because I think it looks great and it's really comfortable. You will also get a single cell charger here. And this is an upgrade of the chargers that you normally get from Weltool. And I believe it's probably an upgrade because it needs to charge the 3,800 milliamp 3.6 volt lithium ion Weltool 18650 battery. And this one is a flat top. Normally you get button tops with these 18650s, but flat top this time. Let's also not forget that you get your quality pass check certificate. So this is just saying that they've looked at the quality and they have checked it and it is good to go. All right, so now we've got a bit of a close-up on the light. I'm going to just show you how to, when the Theorem switchback is installed, I'm going to show you how to take the top off so you can easily install and take the battery out without having to continually remove the Theorem over the O-rings, because this actually comes with 2 O-rings around here, which I'll show you. So first what you do is you just spin. Then, once you've unscrewed the tail cap slightly, you pull the Theorem down. Then you continue to spin the tail cap and it comes off. And the benefit of that is, see the O-rings here? There they are. So you don't want to keep on pulling the Theorem off and on, off and on, off and on once you've installed it, only because every time you do that, you do risk tearing up and potentially breaking one of the O-rings there. And those O-rings are very important for the water resistance, the 5 meter water rating that this has got. But at the same time, they're not the only things, obviously, because if I can actually show you down here, let's just get some light. Okay, so that down there is a fully potted head that is not going to allow water in there easy. I don't know if you guys have seen the tests that Danny Zhang, the owner of Weltool, has shown on Facebook and YouTube, but he throws this in the ocean. He throws this in a bucket of water. I think he rolls over it with a car, he throws it all around, and then it just works. It just always works. So this is a very, very, very strong, very durable light. Now, your very powerful battery slots in positive side towards the head. Then all you do is just slot the tail cap back on and just spin. And you will get to a point where you can no longer spin. And there we have it. And let's just see, there we go. Okay, so let's start at the head here. So down there, we have an SFT40 LED. This is in the 5000K. So this light, the Weltool T17, is available in 5000K, or I believe it's 6000 to 6500K. So I opted for the 5000K model, and this is the second Weltool light that Danny Zhang, the owner of Weltool, has provided me for review. So I'm very thankful to Danny for that. And now I just want to point out that my channel has more Weltool videos on it than anything else. And I have only ever been sent 2 lights free by Weltool. So what that should illustrate is that Weltool lights are the real deal. And I love Weltool. I love them enough to buy them for review. I don't just wait to be sent them. Now, I am very, very appreciative to Weltool and to Danny for sending this to me, of course, but I just want you to know that I don't wait to have them sent to me all the time, because this is the second time that it has actually been sent to me. So I am a massive proponent of Weltool, so much so that I buy my own lights as well. Now, enough about me. So we have a smooth reflector down there, and we have this little inner bezel here. And what that is designed to do is that's how you're going to get to the head if you need to get to the head for anything. Now, you and I shouldn't really need to get to the head at all, but this head is not going to come off the body. And so for that reason, you're not going to get to it by unscrewing the head. So if you needed to get to the inner workings of the head, you know, like the manufacturers or anything like that, that would be through unscrewing this bezel and probably taking it all out that way. That's my assumption on that. Now, the head of Weltool of the Weltool T17 is very similar to its other 18650 Weltools like the LH8 series. There is no through-hole cooling here, just like the LH8 series. Now, you won't need through-hole cooling because the max output here is 600 lumens, and so for that lumen output, you're not going to need extra holes to cool this light down. I don't believe this light will get very hot, although we will do a heat test. Now, I love the knurling because the knurling is very similar to some of Weltool's 21700 series, like the Weltool W3 Pro and W3 Pro TAC, even the T8 Plus TAC, T8 Plus, but this makes for a very, very comfortable hold. And even without the Theorem, it still makes for a very, very comfortable hold. So whether you're wearing gloves or, just your bare hands, this light is going to be very comfortable to hold, and it's going to be very grippy. And as I've said in several of my other Weltool videos, the anodization and finish that Weltool has is absolute perfection. So much so that it feels like if this was to get wet, it would become more grippier, not slippier. And I do believe that, when I kind of get a bit sweaty in my hands and I touch it, it grips more. So it's a very, very clever finish and anodization. Now, here's the tail cap, and it is a shrouded tail cap, which is my favorite. We do have 2 very secure holes for a lanyard if you wanted to put a lanyard, although one is not provided. And the tail cap houses a forward clicky. So there it is there. So you can SOS very easily. And that's going to stay on the output 600 lumens. Then if you want to fully press it in and fully press it out, have a listen to that tail clicky, will ya? That is just so crisp. So very, very happy with the shrouded tail cap. Very nice tail cap indeed. And so in the hand, and in fact, in the hand with the Theorem, it's very comfortable, okay? Very, very comfortable. Now let's see what it's like in the hand just with the pocket clip. So I will take the Theorem off just to show it what it looks like when you actually get it. So I'm being very careful when I'm just slowly trying to slip the Theorem over the O-rings. And look, see, I even pulled one of the O-rings up. So this is why you don't want to, you know, theorem on, theorem off, theorem on. Once you put it on, if you like the theorem, just leave it. If you don't like the theorem, don't put it on. So here's the pocket clip. I'll just close the tail cap. So this is what it looks like just without the tail cap, without the pocket clip or the theorem. And then see this space here? That's what it has been left for the theorem. So clever. This is purely designed for a theorem. I love it. Now, listen to this snap. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that is what it looks like out of the box. And that is a bulletproof pocket clip. Absolutely bulletproof. So holding it with the pocket clip without the theorem, very comfortable. Now, why is it so comfortable, I think? Well, I think definitely because obviously the head trumpets out bigger than the body. So then your finger kind of, see my pinky finger, it kind of is just wedged. The bottom of my hand is wedged at the top of at the head of the light. That's perfect. But also you've got these bits here around the outside of the tail cap, and they are raised more than what the tail cap is. And this whole tail cap here is slightly more raised and thicker circumference, has a thicker circumference than the body. So what that means is you can really lock your hand. See that? You can lock it in your hand like that, and then just momentary constant on. So for the rest of the video, I am going to install the theorem back on, but I just wanted to show you obviously what it looks like straight out of the box, which is this. And of course it can tail stand. So that's a very important feature for a utility work light, you know, user light to have. And this one is that. This one is the epitome of a work utility user light. Okay, so now I'll show you how I put the theorem back on. And in fact, what I'll do quickly is just show you that it can also fit the theorem deep carry clip. So here we have it here, same kind of principle, just, you know, slowly work it over the O-rings and then close it down, and very little play you'll get because this is designed that, you know, the measurements have just been done so perfectly. So check that out. That's what it looks like with the deep carry theorem. Really, really cool. Makes it very comfortable indeed. Now I will start screwing that open, and I will pull the theorem down just so I can more control when I pull it over the O-rings. And there we go. One, just spinning it slowly. Oh, I've caught the second O-ring again. Go back the other way. And I pulled it off again. So again, guys, this just goes to my point of being very, very careful with your theorems. Okay, so now I'm going to put this theorem back on, and now I'm going to leave it on. So it's hit the first O-ring. So what I want to do is just kind of tilt it and work it. There we go. Now I've got it over the first couple. I just want to spin, bang, got it over the second. Then put the tail cap on and just turn until it won't turn anymore. There we go. Tight, good to go. Okay, so move these out of the way. So let's go weight and measurements. So the weight of the T17 with the battery and a theorem switchback is 189.89 grams. Now the head width is 31.15 millimeters. Body width is 23.83 millimeters. Tail cap width, 26 millimeters exactly. And that's from the thickest part of the tail cap, this outer rim here. And then overall length is 131.24 millimeters. So just to give you a size comparison, I've got here the Weltool LH1 head on the BB6 body with the TC70 tail cap. So that there is next to it. There we go. I've also got here a Malkoff E2 XT for those of you who know Malkoffs. I've got a Modlite PLH V2 next to it. So I'll just maybe put that next to it as well. So obviously the Modlite 18350, it's going to be much smaller. This is 18352, but it is more of a longer light. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of how big this thing is. And it's not big. That's the point. It's not actually that big. I mean, Where are we? So 18,350, 18,650, not much difference. So these two lights are both absolutely phenomenal in their own right, but check out the difference in that size. You know, there's not much in it. And this is just a really, really perfect utility light. Fits in the pocket great, is not too big to hold. I have about average size hands. Check it out in my hands. All right, so now let's go over the UI. And I'm going to zoom out a bit because I want you to be able to see the beam on the wall. So the UI is very, very easy. All you do is click it on and you've got 600 lumens, and you've got that for 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. So I opted for the 5000K tint. That's what this one is here. As I said, it does come in I think it's 6,000 or 6,500 or somewhere in between there. But because of the size of the battery and because this light is not lumen greedy, your battery is going to last for 3.5 hours on the highest output, which is 600 lumens. Now, this has a hidden low mode, and for anyone who knows Weltool or for anyone who has watched my Weltool videos, you'll know that the T19, you'll know that a few others, the T1 Pro, they have these hidden low modes. And the way you get to it is you quickly press the tail cap, not fully in, but you quickly momentarily press the tail cap 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you fully click it in. That there is your 6 lumen output. And that, my friends, is going to last you for 75 hours and 10 minutes just to be the cherry on top. So if you're reading something up close, this is the perfect output for that. But I want to touch on the reason why it's a hidden low mode in that way. And what I mean is I want to touch on why you need to press the tail clicky 4 times, not 3 times. So if you had to only press the tail clicky 3 times, it would stop you being able to do SOS, because on the third SOS, it would go into your low mode, and you obviously don't want that. So what Danny's done is made it the fourth momentary press, and you have to do it quite quickly. So if I'm going SOS, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I can do that all day with this light. No dramas. But if I also want to signal to someone and I want to signal 4 times or 5 times, I just slow it down a bit. So signal. See, it's not going into your low mode because I didn't do it fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to do it very fast in order to get to your low mode. So that makes it a very, very clever UI, in my opinion. It makes it a really, really utility-based UI. You have to be very specific when you want to get this thing into low mode. Otherwise, it's just going to stay in your 600 lumen high mode. And that is all for your UI. So forward clicky, momentary, or fully pressed, constant on, and you've got 600 lumens. 14,356 candela, 239 meters of throw, and 3 hours and 30 minutes of runtime. The only thing that changes with CR123s is the runtime, and it drops down to 1 hour and 55 minutes. Now, I know I said it before, but I do just want to say it again because it is worth saying. This light will pass a 5-meter drop test, and it will survive being submerged down to 5 meters of water. So it is just an incredible light. Now, probably not worth it, but I am going to do a heat test just to see if this thing gets hot, and it's really not going to be worth it. This thing's not going to get hot. It's 600 lumens. But for anyone who's thinking, oh, what can 600 lumens do? You know, I'm going to go out and buy myself a 3,000 lumen light, 4,000 lumen light, or whatever. You will see very shortly in the night shots what 6,000 lumens can do. But let's just take its temperature now and see what it's on. So at the neck here, we're on 30 degrees Celsius. Right at the head, we're on 28 degrees Celsius. Right in those heat sink areas, we're on 29 degrees. At the bottom of the neck, where it meets the body, we're on 30 degrees. So that temperature is 6.5 degrees less than our body temperature. So yeah, not hot at all. My hand is hotter than this light. It's not going to get hot. I just can't see it getting hot. All right, so maybe we should wait no further and go outside and see how it looks at nighttime. Before we do, I'll just give you a bird's eye view. So there it is there, very clean spill. We've got some bleeding that grows around the hot spot the further away it gets. All right, let's head out to the night shots and we'll be back for some final thoughts, prices, and where to buy the Weltool T17 Ironclad Virtue. See you in a sec. All right, I cannot believe I got my hands on one, but here it is, the Weltool T17. Now, this is in the 5000K. Check that out. This is going to last for 3.5 hours. There is a reason why Weltool is my all-time favorite brand, and it's because of stuff like this, man. This beast of a light is going to last for 3.5 hours on 600 lumens, and look at 600 lumens at work. SFT 40, 5000K. Look at that. If you're searching the fence line, not a problem. And look where the spill starts, about 2 steps in front of me. This is an almighty amazing light. Fully potted, tough as nails. Look at that. Reaching the tree over there, no dramas. That hot spot is absolutely beautiful. And then the spill is so clear and even. This is probably one of my favorite lights. No, this is 100% one of my favorite lights. This is spectacular. Man, you're gonna get this for 3.5 hours. And the 5000K, it's just perfect in my opinion. Cooler white's fine as well, but 5000K, definitely my preference. Especially when it comes to, you know, long-lasting lights. 5000K is what you want. It just renders everything better in my opinion. Just my opinion, but it's what I prefer. But how cool that Weltool made a 6000K as well. Good on them. Fantastic. This is not an epic thrower. And it's also not for up close stuff. This is great for your, you know, everyday, anywhere between, I don't know, 10 to 50, 60 meters. Perfect for that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that for a low. That's your up close. Tie your shoes, search for your keys, all that type of stuff. Absolutely sensational. And then off, on, boom, there we are again. 600 lumens, guys. If you're, you know, thinking 600 lumens isn't enough, check that out and tell me that's not enough. Plenty. Let's find a tree. Look at that. Anything you want to see in that tree, you've got. 600 lumens isn't enough. Of course it is. All right, the Weltool T17. Thank you, Weltool. Thank you, Danny. See ya. All right, so let's start with the night shots. I'm blown away by them, legit. Now, why am I blown away? Well, number one, to have that output last for such a long time, the 600 lumens to last for such a long time, it makes this light actually perfectly usable. So it's not, you know, when you've got a light that's got low, medium, and high, or even, you know, low, mid 1, mid 2, high, turbo, or whatever, you got to kind of remember, oh, which output was it that was going to last me for 3 or 4 hours or 5 hours, so I can make sure that I'm walking out at nighttime in the bush and I don't, you know, lose the battery too quickly. Whereas with this, it's click on and I know I've got this for several hours before it dies. The other thing I really like about this, I mean, man, there is so much to like about this. The other thing I like, I'm getting ahead of myself, I'm getting too excited, but the other thing I really like about this is the fact that it is fully potted. This light is tough as nails. And as a duty light, as a proper utility tool light, this is what you want. It runs forever, well, not forever, but it runs for a long, long time. It is extremely durable. One of the most durable lights I've ever had the pleasure of holding in my hands. It takes a theorem switchback, which I absolutely love, and there is very little play in the theorem switchback. So Danny at Weltool has obviously done his calculations perfectly to put this on and make it that there's no play, which is beautiful. When you have the pocket clip on it, another amazing thing about Weltool is that this pocket clip is just completely bulletproof. There is absolutely no way that it is going to fall off your belt or out of your pocket if you're using the Weltool pocket clip. I love the fact that the tail cap is shrouded. Absolutely love it. Not only so that it can tail stand, or you can't see that, but not only so that it can tail stand, but also that there's not going to be any accidental turn on. And it's not a light that's designed to be used with the theorem in terms of pressing it and turning it on, but you can just turn it on and then use it. So I prefer a shrouded tail cap. I truly prefer a shrouded tail cap. For me, it's more practical. And I think that this light, having been designed for a utility light, for a proper tool light, I think is really, really important to have a shrouded tail cap. Another big plus for me is that this light comes in 5,000 or 6,500, 6,000K. So that to me is a real bonus because you get to choose which one you want. You know, you get to choose your light temperature. And obviously I've got the 5,000K here, but you know, if you wanted that more piercing, bright white light, then you can opt for the 6,000 or 6,500K, which is an option. Both are using the SFT40, which is just, you know, a great LED. We all know it, tried and true LED. But just back to the night shots, I mean, this thing's got some distance to it as well. And because of the technology of the reflector and the technology of what Weltool does with their lights, the hotspot grows very, very quickly. It makes it a really usable hotspot. It's not just like a piercing hotspot, you know, with too much candela. This really is a utility light. This is not a light that has been created to be drawn into the lumen wars or to be drawn into the marketing tactics. This is a tool light. That's what it is. And it's my favorite Weltool. It has become my favorite Weltool. I've only had this in my hands for, I think, less than a week now. And it has very quickly become my favorite Weltool light. And you know, if anyone knows my channel, they know I absolutely adore Weltool. Weltool is my favorite brand of light by far. And this light is my favorite light of my favorite brand. And I'm so grateful to Danny for sending this to me. This is the second Weltool light that I've ever had sent to me for review. The first one was the Weltool T2 TAC, and now the T17. So I'm very, very appreciative to Danny for that. But look, at the moment, this is coming in at $130 from Weltool, and that's where I'm going to link it at the moment. And as soon as this light becomes available at liteshop.com.au, that's the Australian retailer that you can get this from, I will then link that as well. So look, I'm not trying to be a sales pitch here or anything like that. I'm giving you my honest opinion about this light. If you want a utility light, if you want a tool light that doesn't mess around, that is tough as nails, that fits a theorem, that has a hidden low as well, so you can still use it for signaling, still use it for SOS if you need to, go the T17. Honestly, just look past everything else and go the T17, and you won't regret it. You just won't. Thanks very much for watching another video on my channel, guys. Please hit me up in the comments with any questions if I missed anything, or if you want to know anything more about the T17 or anything from Weltool. Happy to answer questions. I love Weltool. I love talking about Weltool. Love talking about lights in general. All right. Thanks very much for watching. And until next time, stay cool and stay safe. See ya.